Some people like it in the middle, ain't got no shame. Sometimes the one who's in the middle gets more loving. Some people like it in the middle, ain't got no shame. Sometimes the one who's in the middle gets more loving. Some people like it in the middle, ain't got no shame. Sometimes the one who's in the middle gets more loving. Some people like it in the middle, ain't got no shame. Sometimes the one who's in the middle gets more loving.
I guess I'm addicted, baby. Without you, I'm feeling crazy. Since you're here, I'm thinking maybe you can just stay a while. I'm thinking like forever, yeah, like forever. Come on, girl, you know me better. When have I said a lie? Cause no matter how hard I try, I just can't pass you by. A night just don't feel right without you there. Come on, don't make me beg. I know you heard what I said. You're blushing and turning red. Go ahead. Hey, when I'm waking up for the rest of my life, I want you laying beside me, girl. You know it, baby. Beside me, girl. Forever, baby. Taking long trips to Jamaica, you know I want you laying beside me, girl. Come on, girl. Beside me, girl. Oh, when our kids are serving us breakfast in bed, I want you laying beside me, girl. I need you beside me, girl. When I'm hitting that alarm clock, I get you so I can squeeze it, laying beside me, girl. Oh, beside me, girl. Don't pop a lie, don't pop a lie, don't pop a daddy, don't pop a daddy, don't pop a daddy, don't pop a daddy. Bom bom day, 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 bom bom day. I'm not talking silly now. Come on, girl, not really now. Smile, girl, you with me now. Some other guys cannot compare. Last guy, I heard it hurt you. No need to speak it further. Just lay back and let me learn. Let me earn it. It's my turn. When I'm waking up for the rest of my life, I want you laying beside me, girl. You know I need you, baby. When I'm touring all around the world, girl, I want you laying beside me. I need you beside me, girl. I want you. Oh, when the kids are making us breakfast in bed, I want you laying beside me. Oh, no, 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 no. Beside me, girl. When I'm hitting that alarm clock, just so I can squeeze in beside me. Oh, no, no, no. Beside me, girl. Well, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, baby. Don't know the rules of love and what it means. Recognize it when it's said, and I see it in you. When I'm waking up for the rest of my life, I want you beside me. Oh, baby. Beside me. Oh, baby. If I go to Jamaica, you know I need you beside. You know I need you beside. Oh, I need you, baby. If I'm having breakfast, yeah, girl, I need you beside. Lay your head right here. Right here, right here. Let me hit that alarm clock so I can squeeze in beside. Just wanna squeeze you, just wanna squeeze you, baby. Won't you lay beside me, girl? Beside me. I want you to lay beside me, baby. Oh, lay beside me, girl. Beside me, girl.
Black people spend on average $2 billion a year on Air Jordan, $4 billion a year on liquor, $1 billion a year on fast food. You saw what just happened with Popeyes. $40 million in a matter of hours.
Yes.
And we weren't even paid for that. Black women spend almost $20 billion a year on hair care and beauty products. But yet, there's not a black community in the United States I can go to where you can show me a black community that has all four of the essential institutions, which are a bank, a school, a supermarket, and a hospital. A bank to invest in the people, a supermarket to feed the people, a school to teach the people, and a hospital to save the people. How does a $2 trillion people, that's what we are, the richest group of Africans in the world, the 10th richest nation on the planet, there's only 9 groups of people who bring home more take-home pay than African Americans do. And we don't have an independent community. There's 2 reasons for that. Number 1, slavery destroyed our desire to control our destiny. That's number 1.
Yes.
And after slavery destroyed it, religion came in and glorified the fact that we wanted no control over our destiny by saying you need not worry about building a nation. Just pray and God will take care of it. The problem with religion is not the religion. It's how Negroes who come in the name of Jesus and Muhammad teach it to politically uneducated black folks. There's nothing wrong with the Bible. There's nothing wrong with the Quran. But there's cowards in charge who don't want to use those books to wake black people up, so they rather put us to sleep. You see? Every bank that receives at least $250,000 a year, if a bank has a $250,000 revenue stream, they should have a bank. If a church has that, they should have a bank. If your church with at least $250,000, you must have a bank for 2 reasons. You bring in enough revenue to invest in us to the point where every black person in Pontiac should have their own business. No black woman should ever have to work for a white man in her life when you got black churches bringing that type of money in. You see? But they don't. So because the black church don't have a bank of their own, that means their money goes into a white bank. So on Sunday, you donate to church. They take your money, your black Jesus money, and put it in a white devil's bank. And then the white devil, stay with me, will take black people's Jesus money, and they will give it to other white devils to come into Pontiac and buy up your neighborhood and push you out with your own money. You see?
Okay. He's preaching tonight, isn't he?
I'll end with this. My biggest problem with black religion, I don't care which one you name,
Okay.
they all dysfunctional. My biggest problem with black religion is they teach us that we have to die to experience heaven.
Okay.
But the Chinese got his heaven right now. And the Arab got his heaven right now. And the Jew got his heaven right now. And the East Indian got his heaven right now. So why can everybody else have heaven now, but I can only get mine after I die?
Oh my God.
So for me, I'm going to get a heaven now.
Okay.
And I'm going to get a heaven during my life. And I'm going to get a heaven for my babies, or I'm going to die trying. See,
Okay.
the black man and woman have not made up their mind that they don't want to be slaves anymore.
Oh, lovely day. I never thought of myself as a complex man or as someone who was really that hard to understand. It would hardly take a genius to realize that I've always been a lot too arrogant and a little too fucking wise. I was a combination that made a lot of folks feel duty bound to do whatever they could to try and shoot me down, to hit off some of the things that I might possibly say, to see if they couldn't take some of my pride away, to bring me disappointment, to teach me to fear it. Obviously, these are folks just didn't have no spirit. Spirit said, don't give up. Yes, it's time to stop your falling. You've been down long enough. Can't you hear the spirits calling? Yes, it's the spirits. Can't you hear it? Calling your name, calling your name. Yeah, talking about spirits. Lives are so far off the track that what they like best about life is stabbing brothers in the back. And I was obviously too blind and probably too weak to see who was responsible for my losing streak. The best way to explain it is to say simply because I was looking around outside, and the truth is that I was the one. So I got locked into all of the analysis and found myself locked into a kind of paralysis, and something was calling and I almost didn't hear it, but I spent a lot of time being blessed by the spirits. Make you say, don't give up. Hey, it's time to stop your falling. Yeah, you've been down long enough. And can't you hear the spirits calling? Yes, it's the spirits. Can't you hear it? Calling your name, calling your name. Yeah, talking about spirits. It didn't matter whether it was a child or an adult. There was absolutely no one I could not insult, so that I could isolate myself somewhere off to the side and continue to juggle all the possible whys. The warmth I once could generate so well had turned into a frozen hell, and all of the discouraging injustices I felt had pinned me somewhere inside a drug-infested cell, where those who told didn't know and those who knew didn't tell, and I could continue to feel sorry for myself. I could continue to feel sorry for myself. I could continue to feel sorry for myself. And then I heard, don't give up. It's time to stop your falling. Yeah, you've been down long enough. Yeah, can't you hear the spirits calling? Yes, it's the spirits. Can't you hear it? Calling your name, calling your name. Yeah, talking about spirits. Ain't no way overnight to turn your life around. And this ain't the conversation of someone who never falls back down. But no matter how long you've been on trial, with the days and the weeks of self-denial, and no matter how many times you tried to make it and found out that right then you just couldn't take it, if you're looking for a loser who found strength and success, remember the spirit of Brother Malcolm X. And know that you can leave all of your mistakes behind the day that you really make up your mind. 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 Brothers, pull on up. Stand on up and say, don't give up. Don't give up. Yes, it's time to stop your falling. Calling on you. You've been falling down long enough. Yes, and can't you hear the spirits calling? Hear the spirits calling, saying, don't give up. Yes, time to stop your falling. Yes, and you've been down long enough. Yeah, can't you hear the spirits calling? Calling, calling, the spirits calling.
say what's on your mind. Just be yourself, but they don't recognize.
If you think you have something to say, don't you hold back, just say it. Why do you think you have to take all that the people say and do?
Scratch.
You got to get your nerve up, your nerve up, your nerve up, get your nerve up, 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 your nerve up. You got to get your nerve up, your nerve up, your nerve up, your nerve up, get your nerve up, your nerve up, your nerve up,
America, one of the wealthiest countries in the world. But the question is, how did it accumulate its wealth?
This is a nation founded on genocide and built on the backs of slaves. All right. So we started with a racial problem. We tried to actually eliminate one entire race, and then we used another race to build this country actually quite quickly as a new country into a world power. This country never would have had the wealth that it had it not had slavery for a couple of hundred years.
But I say to white people, look, you didn't do it. They say, yeah, that's right. We didn't have nothing to do with slavery. Yeah. But because of slavery, when you immigrants came here, America was already built with the blood, the sweat of my ancestors. So you got what you got because your fathers gave us what they gave us.
One mistake that's often made is showing how the South, the Confederacy, acquired their wealth off of the backs of our ancestors. And even then, it's reduced to just a few slave owners who saw a real benefit. No. Chattel slavery of blacks benefited the South, but just as much it benefited the North and all of America and its many European immigrants.
Well, I want to see my longer hair.
America's economic structure was propelled by its dominant export, sold throughout the world, cotton. This one crop provided over half of all U.S. exports earnings. And by 1840, 60% of the world's cotton was grown, picked, and labored over for free by our ancestors. These plantation owners were raking in money, accumulating great wealth, and never having to pay one dime to their laborers. But the North was just as involved. The North developed a variety of businesses that provided services to the slave South, like textile factories, insurance companies, shippers, and cotton brokers. But it doesn't stop at the slave owner or the businesses that provided the services to the slave system. Banks, yes. Bankers on Wall Street made millions selling goods to the South, along with giving loans and creating banks to finance southern plantations. And much of this same wealth they still have today. Let me give you some examples. J.P. Morgan and Chase Bank admitted that between the years of 1831 to 1865, two of their predecessor banks, Citizens Bank and Canal Bank in Louisiana, accepted 13,000 slaves as collateral on loans that slave masters defaulted. One of the more successful banking families that built much of their wealth on the slave trade was the Brown family, more commonly known as the Brown Brothers and Harriman Company, which is the oldest and largest private investment bank. The Brown Brothers owned hundreds of slaves. This family dominated the cotton industry. They made a huge fortune by lending millions to southern planters and cotton brokers. Another portion of their wealth came by renting and the sales of slave ships they sold to slave merchants. They served as one of the most important sources of capital in foreign exchange in the U.S. economy. Wachovia Bank, recently acquired by Wells Fargo, also profited heavily off of this cruel system. Mayer Rothschild, a German banker and the founder of the Rothschilds banking dynasty, which is believed to have become the wealthiest family in human history, made enormous gains by using our ancestors as collateral. The insurance industry also saw great benefits from slavery. Companies like AIG, Aetna, New York Life were the forerunners in this industry. But see, it's also very important to note that these same plantation owners and business owners would donate large sums of this wealth in order to train their children and the next generation on containing the wealth. For example, Harvard. Harvard was built due to large amounts of money given by Isaac Royal, a plantation owner in the Caribbean islands of Antigua, who made a massive fortune off of his many sugar plantations. Yale was able to build its famous library and establish its prestigious scholarship program. Princeton. By the mid-1700s, many of its students were sons of plantation owners. Brown University, named after the famous slave owner banker, the Brown Brothers. A large portion of this campus was built with slave labor. And these are just a few of the many institutions that was built with slave money. See, these men would be looked at as great businessmen, philanthropists. But in actuality, they were securing the wealth of their future by training and educating the next generation that would take over their plantations and their businesses, and even become government officials, responsible for creating laws, regulations, and policies that would keep blacks fighting for human rights and access to this stolen wealth for decades. For decades after slavery, blacks have fought against unequal education, which is a sure way of ensuring wealth disparities. We fought grandfather clauses to prevent us from affecting government in ways that could transfer wealth. Land grants, free land issued from the government that blacks were restricted from. The black codes, housing restrictions, redlining and FDA guarantee loans, predatory bank lending, convict leasing, which utilized black labor but does not transfer the wealth. I wish that I could say that this wealth disparity in America was isolated only in America, but it's not.
All the wealth that was generated that helped to make Britain great, so-called, the British Empire, all of this came from enslavement and colonialism and ill-gotten gains. And it links to this modern discussion around inequality and the huge gap between the nations, not only in terms of Britain and Europe, but also the rest of the world, and in particular, Africa and the Caribbean.
The truth is, this is the same scenario across every colonized land. Today, as a people, we fight for the Confederate flags to come down. We even fight for people to stop using the word nigger. Right. Or other forms of bigotry to not be used. But we've been duped into believing that it's absolutely foolish to continue to fight for reparations. Many of us don't recognize the direct ties between the past and the wealth that was carried into today. Our ancestors were forced to invest in this economy without ever receiving a return. Unlike Jews, reparations were never paid to slaves or their descendants to help balance out this unjustified wealth. But understand that the reason our ancestors were enslaved was not for the purpose of being able to call us right. It was not even for the purpose of being able to raise a slave flag. No, all of the killing, the torturing, dehumanizing, inhumane treatment all boiled down to one reason: wealth. It was all business. Understand that. I know that our brother Martin did.
I still have a dream.
Not that one.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. Now, this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
Won't you wake up, walk in the light. Won't you wake up, bring substance in your life. Won't you wake up, walk in the light. Won't you wake up, yeah. Where's your heart, where's your pride? Has it all been pushed aside? Life is dreams, living high, yet no substance in your life. It's a hard world, I know, but don't give in to the lies. You have always been a star, everything you need's inside your heart. Ooh, your life is special, really special, yeah. Your treasure lies in your soul. Truth and light will bless you, it'll bless you. Riches come and go, only love is pure gold. Many hearts, many lives have been touched when you realize that you're worthy, you're the prize. But you have to heal inside. It's a hard world, I know, but don't give in to the lies. You have always been a star, everything you need's inside. Say it, always on the grind, but you need some peace of mind. Oh yeah, slow down, take your time. There's a million ways to shine. Yeah, let the worldly things start to control your destiny. You gotta wake up, make a change, and then you find your stars will align. Yeah, ooh, your life is special, really special. Riches come and go, only love is pure gold. Oh yeah, hey yeah, life is special, really special, yeah, special. Oh yeah, just lies in your soul. Truth and light will bless you, it'll bless you. Riches come and go, only love is pure gold. Won't you wake up, walk in the light. Won't you wake up, bring substance in your life. Won't you wake up, walk in the light. Won't you wake up, yeah. Hey. Ooh, your life is special, really special, yeah. Special. Will bless you, it'll bless you. Riches come and go, only love is pure gold. Your life is special, just so special, yeah, yeah. In your soul, in your soul. True love will bless you, it'll bless you. Riches come and go, only love is pure gold. Hey, your love will help you find your treasure. Have mercy. As you live from day to day. Cause only true love makes things better. Yeah. Cause true love never fades away.
Time. Time waits for no one. Time stops for no one. Your excuses will not slow down time. Your indecisions will not delay time. Your complaining will not stall time. And your regrets will not turn back time. So, don't waste your time in anger, regrets, worries, and hate. Because time will not turn back and cry along with you. It's time to let go of the past and stop worrying about the future. Your only time is now. So make sure you spend your time with the right purpose, with the right deeds, with the right emotions, with the right thoughts, and with the right people. Time flies, that's a fact. But you can always spread your wings and soar with time and navigate life the best that you can. Remember, you will never pass this way again. Make it count. Time. Do what it does. Keep moving.
I grabbed your lines, been hanging all this time, 'cause I want to believe all the things you said to me. But less words, more deeds, this is what I like to see. Yeah, I hear you talking, but I'd rather see the walking. Know your game is kinda strong, alright, but I ain't new baby born. Oh, no. So let me make it crystal clear, 'cause this I know you need to hear. If you try it way too long, you'll look up and find me gone. Ain't no game where I come from. Gotta keep it moving, carry on.
I mean what I say. You're with me every day, even when I'm not with you. Your presence is my point of view, yeah. The way I give seems just so oblivious. Pay attention to my love, 'cause I uniquely give my all. I don't know who's in your ear, I don't know. We need to take it to the real. Yeah. Can you recognize this too is my reply.
Black woman,
I'd be a fool to think there's something more astonishing than the way you wear your mahogany as if it's your birthright. I've seen it with my own vision. You're the only thing that's caught my eye but still worthy of the throne, because everything you do is a clear indication that God spent time on your creation. Black woman. When I was a man boy, I used to enjoy playing make-believe. I wasn't mature enough to understand your gospel, so I didn't believe in you. I just picked at your scriptures and filled in the gaps with my own conclusions without reading your whole story. But you are the most beautiful novel ever written. Black woman. You've opened me up in ways that can only be explained through divine intervention. When life felt claustrophobic, you were the opening on fire escapes, climbing through my exposed wounds that were too sensitive to touch. Black women were privy to my secrets. I only expressed the rooftops where endless screams were heard and tears are forgotten. They carried a lantern through my darkest corners and found the remains of my self-love. A black woman made my potential her deity. She's the only one that truly had faith in what she was yet to see. Black women are known for their curves but carry most of their weight on their tongue, strong enough to lift a man's spirit. Oh, I love my black woman. Black woman, you are deserving of so much more. I speak on behalf of the men that have failed to protect you, always having a justification for why your skin doesn't deserve to be abuse-free, and would rather you pay for their sins because they're too broke to take accountability for their actions. I will humbly become your living sacrifice. I'm indebted to you for all the senseless men that see you as no more than a commodity and turn a blind eye to your trauma, leaving you with the permanent sense of arrogance that smells like male privilege. I'm indebted to you for all the men that have remained silent in the face of your mistreatment and rejection when you need us to be the reverb that echoes your sentiments. Black woman, your womb carries our baby, so I put respect on your name. And I'm eager to love you because for centuries I was forbidden to out of fear of losing you. Black woman, I want to be your organ donor. I promise to give my heart to the one that needs it most. You, my black woman, not only at first but at last will be together because you mean the world to me. No other woman on the planet has endured the plight you've experienced, so I apologize in advance for the men that misinterpreted your strength as some sort of posturing that says you're better than them. Through all their insecurities and projections, they're yet to see that the motion picture of your life has always been a frontline war. And when one man is down, you gotta pick up your bootstraps and keep on surviving. All black women are surviving. How long will you have to carry the load down lonely roads before we step up? Black woman, you are enough. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. There is nothing missing from your recipe. You are the brown in my sugar, the flavored shot of caramel in my coffee, the grinds of cinnamon in my heart. Our love can't be measured, but we add up. We are God's match before human mutual interest and cosmic compatibility. I've cheated on self-hate and I have a love affair with your melanin. Your beauty is never in question. I'm ready to give your feminine energy a comfortable space for your temporary moments of weakness to find refuge. I'm committed to removing the barriers built by men laid with bricks cemented with infidelity, lust, and lies. I want you to hold on to your attitude, but allow me to bag the angry chip on your shoulder created by false promises of headship that couldn't anchor your stability. Black woman, I am your black man. And I know some days it doesn't feel that way, but trust me, I'm your ally. And I'm hurting too. But with courage comes great sacrifice, and I'm committed to removing that fear for you, black woman. Never be apologetic for your sense of strength and responsibility. It's you that continues to restore the black man's dignity. And when we rise, I promise I will not stop your right to human liberty. Black woman, you are my equal. And I don't find your completeness a threat to my manhood. So allow me to be the sum of a man that loves your total woman. Black woman, let me love you, love you, love you, love you, love
you. We hope you enjoy your train ride. From this point, ladies and gentlemen, you're on your own. New America, Fourth World War. Please stay tuned for New America Part 2.
I promise.
Return of the Up.
Give it to me, I give it to you. I promise. I promise.
Please stay tuned for your special ingredient, honey. Coming. 10, 9, 8.
give it
5,
to me. I'll give it
4,
to you. I promise.
3,
I promise.
2,
American.
2.5, 1. Thank you. So tell me, Slim, what you want to do. You know I'm in love with you. Every time that I turn around, I'll call you, but you can't find. Fly free, baby, fly with me. I'm in love with a bumblebee. Ooh, Slim, boy, you killing me. You're so sweet to me. Oh, honey, yeah. You're so sweet. Hey, shaka long we can get you. Oh, you so sweet, honey. All I gotta do is add a little lemon. You my favorite drink. Hey, you make me think. Oh, honey, yeah. You so sweet. So tell me, Slim, what it's gonna be. It don't be like it's usually. When it comes to the what to do, I don't fall for the what to do. Oh boy, can you tell me please? Wanna know if you feeling me. Oh Slim, boy, you feeling me. You so sweet to me. Oh honey, yeah. You so sweet. Well, honey, shaka kinda long way to get you. Oh, you so sweet, honey. All I gotta do is add a little lemon. You my favorite drink. Hey, you make me think. Oh, honey, yeah. You so sweet. You got that hunger, you running from me. You really turn me on. You got that hunger, stop acting funny. You really turn me on. So tell me, Sam, what you trying to do? Hey, I'm trying to get me an interview. Look for you all over town, but you can't make it run around. Fly free, baby, find me. I need to know is you feeling me. Oh, please take your pick, your finger in my teeth.